Yo, what's good, YouTube? ZAMCRO here, aka Scoot, back with the Token Minorities Summer Showdown 2019 tournament, and we have our Game 2 of pool play, where we're facing off against HunterZinfected. So, we had a pretty scary squad, as you can see on screen. He's got the Decidueye, Zapdos, Mega Gallade, huge threat right there, Zapdos as well, and Decidueye being a very, very fantastic low-tier grass type pick. Just a very, very fantastic Pokemon overall. And then he's got the Volcarona, which, if you guys know me, you know that I am most terrified of Volcarona above all other Pokemon in the format. This thing is just absolutely terrifying. So many different things it can do. It can quiver, it can flame body burn, it can Z-move. So just a huge nuisance for me, and is a Z-move captain in this matchup. He's also got Alolan Ninetales and the Skuntank, as well as Empoleon and Flygon that he did not bring. The last two there, Empoleon and Flygon, didn't bring those two, but decided to bring these two. And we have a squad of Celesteela, Mega Diancie, Hydreigon, Suicune, Decidueye, Gothitelle, Stunfisk, and Magnemite, where Celesteela is our Z-move user, and for this matchup we've decided to bring Celesteela, Mega Diancie, Hydreigon, Suicune, Gothitelle, and the Stunfisk. So we have a weakness policy, autotomize Celesteela here with an adamant nature. It's a little bit of speed investment, a little bit of special defense, and a lot of HP investment with really nice coverage versus his squad. We'll get into it in the match. Mega Diancie, we have Rock Polish, Moonblast, Earth Power, and Diamond Storm. Earth Power there for the Empoleon that he actually didn't bring, but it's going to be nice versus the Stunfisk or the Skuntank for super effective damage. For Hydreigon, we have a Tanga Berry variant with the Dark Pulse, Rock Tomb, Taunt, and Roost. Really nice set here with the Rock Tomb to prevent things like Mega Gallade from setting up on us, Volcarona setting up on us, or to just catch the Alolan Ninetales upon switch in and potentially 2-hit KO it depending on its range and investment. We are a very bulky Hydreigon with quite a bit of speed investment. Next up we have Suicune with Scald, Roar, Toxic, and Protect. Pretty self-explanatory. Catch the Decidueye upon switch in. Catch the Zapdos upon switch in with Toxic. It's really nice. With Protect we can whittle those things down, and Scald allows us to catch potential burns on things and gives us Stab, which is really nice. Gothitelle with a Choice Scarf and Foul Play, really nice. Check to a Swords Dance and Mega Gallade, as well as having Psyshock on here so that the Calm Mind and Quiver Dance variant Pokemon can't set up too bad on me. Psyshock just attacking their defenses. I can trick things a Choice Scarf, which is really nice. And then we've got Thunderbolt there being our last move for the Empoleon. We can weaken that thing for our Mega Diancie, which could be really nice. Trap it and then just start spamming Thunderbolt. And then we've got our last Pokemon being Stunfisk with leftovers, having a Quiet Nature with Mix HP, or Max HP, Mix Defenses, and Mix Attacking, so that Discharge, Foul Play, and Rock Tomb, well, Foul Play is not affected, but Discharge and Rock Tomb are doing what they have to 2-hit KO and things, and Rock Tomb catching the 2-hit KO on Volcarona. So it's really nice, and it prevents it from, just being set up fodder. You just spam Rock Tomb and things like that. So yeah, that's going to be the team, and we can hop into the replay here. So, as you can see, my opponents decided to bring the Decidueye, Zapdos, Mega Gallade, Volcarona, Alolan Ninetales, and the Stunfisk. So no Empoleon, no Flygon, like I mentioned earlier. This is going to allow me to lead off with my Suicune. I don't expect him to lead off with his Decidueye. I expect him to either lead off with the Alolan Ninetales for the Veil, and what I'm going to do is throw off a Toxic. So I'm just going to lead off with my Suicune, like I just mentioned, and I'm going to throw off a Toxic here and try to put this thing on a timer. So my opponent goes for the Freeze Dry, no big deal, only doing about 30%, but he gets the freeze, so it's really unfortunate, and you'll see why here. Despite having Scald to just thaw out immediately, I do go for that, but I get the 30% burn, so not only did he get the freeze, which really screwed me over, but I also have to Scald to thaw out. I can't allow him to set up the Veil and swap out or anything like that. I have to Scald to thaw out. and unfortunately during my scald I catch the burn on him, meaning I can no longer toxic him, meaning his timer is a lot smaller. So now I'm having to make some big boy plays here, predicting my opponent to switch out, and I'm going to go for the toxic here on this turn. Expecting my opponent to expect my switch out here, I'm just going to click protect, as he does go for the toxic, expecting my switch out here. So now I could go into my Celesteela, but I expect him to go for the Thunderbolt or Electric type move on this turn, so I am going to go from my Stunfisk here, and it's going to give me Stealth Rocks. No matter what he does here, this is going to give me Stealth Rocks. He does get the toxic off on my Stunfisk, which is really unfortunate though. And now I'm able to get my rocks up as he goes into the Alolan Ninetales. So really nice for me. Unfortunately, he did get burned and he's not poisoned. I am going to go into my Celesteela here though. Despite him having the Veil up, I want to start to pressure him. I want to make him make some moves. I want to start chipping his Pokemon down, even if it's little chip. So I'm going to go straight for the Autotomize. He goes out into the Skuntank, and I'm just going to go for the Earthquake here. It does 36% even behind the Aurora Veil, so that's really nice. I know it'll drop him after the Aurora Veil ends, and here I'm just going to spam that. Actually, I go for Acrobatics here because I wasn't going to be able to 2-hit KO him with Earthquake regardless. Like Acrobatics into Aurora Veil outside of Veil knocked him out anyway, so Acrobatics was my play there. I could have went for Stone Edge, but I didn't want to risk it just yet. He wasn't just in range, and I do go into my Fisk and get my rocks back up as he goes back into the Alolan Ninetales, and I assume he's going to get his Veil up on this turn. So what I'm going to do is hard switch into my Celesteela once again, and this time, thanks to his Hell, I can't actually set up. I have to attack, and that gives him the opportunity to go out into the Decidueye here. And what he's going to do is take the opportunity to defog my rocks away. Thankfully, though, that's going to defog his Aurora Veil away as well. So that's going to go bye-bye. But you see, Aurora Veil does not get defogged away like screens do. So really, really unfortunate for me, and I allowed him to get rid of my rocks without taking advantage of it. At the highest level. So here he roosts up as I go for the Autotomize once again, knowing Hell was about to end. I go for the Stone Edge, predicting his Zapdos, but he goes for the Spirit Shackle, predicting me to switch out, I suppose. But yeah, really good plays by him regardless. I didn't necessarily need Celesteela at this point. It did its job. It's, chipped the majority of his team. Zapdos is less than half. Stunfisk is less than half. Decidueye has taken chip. Alolan Ninetales has taken chip. So what I got to do is get my Stunfisk back in. I take the crunch really, really comfortably, and I need to get my rocks up right here, right now. Unfortunately, my opponent's going to reveal the defog here, and I did not expect him to be like triple defog. So I actually attacked him here instead of spamming rocks. I should have spammed rocks. Spamming rocks was definitely the play. I would have eventually ended up with rocks on the field. And unfortunately, that's not going to be the case here. I go into my Mega Diancie, and I'm going to claim a knockout here. Despite being down 6-4, I do net a knockout on this turn, and it brings the score back to 4-5. So now we're in a decent position. I'm going to swap out into my Hydreigon here, and now expecting him to switch out into his Alolan Ninetales, I'm going to make a double into my Mega Diancie. And I've got to keep applying pressure here. So I know he's more than likely going to switch out here, but I have to stay in and click Diamond Storm anyway. I can't give anything a free turn or anything like that. And if he went into Decidueye, Diamond Storm might have been able to 2-hit KO depending on his investment. And it would have allowed me to know what would do more damage between Moonblast and Diamond Storm. So yeah, was able to pick up a knockout on the Zapdos and the Alolan Ninetales, making an aggressive double there and bringing the score back to 4-4. He brings the Decidueye in, and I am just going to hard switch out into my Hydreigon once again. I do not have U-turn on this, so now I can't make the double play. So he knows I have to stay in here, and I'm just going to spam Dark Pulse. His Eye Papa Berry has already popped on this Skuntank, so I know he doesn't have any kind of shenanigans up his sleeve, and I am just going to hard switch out to my Suicune here, as my opponent poised a really, really nice double out into his Decidueye. I'm going to throw off a Toxic and miss, so it's really, really, really unfortunate, making this game so much harder than it already is, and now I'm forced to hard switch out into my Hydreigon as he goes for the Leaf Storm, or the Leaf Blade once again. I can roost up this turn though. So that gives me a little bit of leeway, gives me a little bit of momentum back in my favor. Go back out into my Suicune as he goes for the Memento, so really, really good play there. But what I suppose he didn't take into consideration that I would have Roar, and he brings in his Mega Gallade, and I know for sure that I cannot let that thing set up, so I have to just immediately just keep roaring everything out. I can't ever give him the opportunity to stay in and attack me. Here he goes for the knockoff. Expecting him to go for the close combat or swords dance once again. I'm just going to roar him anyway. And he goes for the knockoff, gets rid of my item, and this turn I catch the Toxic on the Decidui. So that's all I needed right there for my Mega Diancie to potentially win. So that's really, really solid for me. I do get the Protect here to just whittle up some more Toxic damage there. I just go for the Scald here in case he wanted to try to switch, predicting my Hydreigon. No big deal. I did not need Suicune anymore at that point. Too low to take a hit from any of his Pokemon. And now I can bring in my Hydreigon. And I go for the Rock Tomb, expecting him to maybe switch out. But he does just stay in, spams the Leaf Blade here. And I'm assuming at this point that he's just going to spam Leaf Blade. So I just go for the Dark Pulse to knock him out there. And I do pick up the knockout, which is really nice for me. So now he brings in his Volcarona. He goes straight for the Bug Buzz, which is a really nice play, but he did not expect my Tanga Berry, and I was able to get some chip on him with the Rock Tomb, and then I was able to get the second Rock Tomb off first because of the speed drop, and then Hydreigon was able to beat Volcarona 1v1 there. I did drop to Mega Gallade, but he revealed Drain Punch, so I know that he probably doesn't have close combat, and I 100% tank a Drain Punch from here, so I'm not scared of losing a speed tie, and I 100% knock him out with Moonblast there, thanks to being very, very especially offensively invested. So yeah, Mega Diancie really, really putting in the work there, able to bring the game back in the mid-game and then finish the game up here. So really nice game there, nice 2-0 victory after our first game. We desperately needed this, and we need to win one more in our pool game to advance to the second phase of pool play. So yeah, that's going to be it. Let me know what you guys thought about the prep and the plays on both sides of the field. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.